Hello, Mum, and welcome to another video. This is going to be a little bit of a different video to usual because today we're actually going to be designing a new minigame for my world. So I thought I'd do this. I did some of these about a year ago, I want to say, but then I stopped because basically I don't know, it just became a bit of a chore for me having to like record these and upload the actual ones. I was like, oh well, it keeps it more surprising if I don't show you all what I'm doing. And I know I could like upload them after and stuff, but I don't know. I like to keep my schedule simple, so I didn't want to basically have like a big like upload thing that I had to like follow. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd do this now for two reasons. One, because I think what we're going to be doing should hopefully be quite cool, and two, because this video is going to be uploaded in my week break from YouTube. So basically, yeah, I'm taking a week break as you're recording, as you're watching this from YouTube, just because I've been uploading a lot. So that's the reason why. So I thought just to keep you busy with something, I would upload this, and then at least you can have this, and also because it's going to be good timing for what we're building. So basically, a bit of backstory: I was on the Hive, and I went and played Capture the Flag. And I absolutely love that game. It's so good. And I was thinking, do you know what? I really want a version of this in my world, and it would work so well. And I can do command blocks and all sorts just to make it work properly. And so that's basically what we're going to be building today. We're going to be building a capture the flag for my world. But the thing is I've already got capture the flags, and so I don't really want to like do another one that's just basically the same. So I want a twist. I'm not entirely sure what the twist is yet. Um, the only thing is that I've thought of is maybe. So imagine like this is the arena. Let's just build it out of birch. By the way, I've come over here because I have built other things ready for the world, and I'm pretty sure none of them are going to come out by the time this video is. So you might see a few failed mini games. But I think in terms of actual spoilers for games that will be built, I don't think you'll see any of them over here. But yeah, so imagine this is the arena. Imagine this is bigger though, and then basically there'll be banners on one side. So say like if it was grey against, let's pick another colour, grey against yellow, and there was a grey banner here and a yellow banner here. So basically the aim of the game would be to get across, take the banner and bring it back, and then there'd be some way of putting it in. And then basically then the team that does that wins. But the thing is then it's basically just like the other Capture the Flag games I've done. And I don't really want to just do like a sequel to Capture the Flag. I want this to be its own original game. So what I was thinking is maybe instead of having one banner, we could have three. So imagine there's like three there, and then three on this side. I think this one needs to come in just a little bit like that. So imagine there's three, and you have to like defend all three of them from the opponent team. So basically, so I was thinking maybe there could be like blocks that you could use to build rounds, and maybe there's a way so you could get like better blocks in order to like keep it surrounded and more protected for longer. And then the aim of the game would be to not just get one banner, but to get all three of them back. I thought could work. I want the arena bigger. In fact, I want it a lot bigger because my plan is that I want to do this game all the way down through Bedrock. I want it to be like into the void. And I think if I had it as a small arena, I think if I'm doing an 8-player one, I feel like it needs to be massive. Like there's no way I could do like an arena this size, or even like I don't know what's another big game like even like this. This is a failed mini game at some point. Let me know by the way if you'd like to see a tour. I'm not too sure. Like maybe after I've uploaded everything, maybe I'll give you a tour. But yeah, like this is a quite a big arena for this was like when I was trying to do Stampy's Blocks game, but make it work in Bedrock, but I couldn't work it out. But yeah, basically like this is a pretty big arena but I want it a lot bigger than this. And by a lot, I mean like probably about 50 times the size of this in terms of size, because I just think it make games better. It would also space these banners out, because otherwise it would be basically like all of them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a play around with like just like the general concept, and then I'm going to come back in with you when either I've had an idea for something else, or when like I've built something so I can actually show you all. So I'll be back once I have done some thinking. Okay, so I've been a little bit busy. So I was trying to think about like how to make the game more fun, because if I did it so it was basically just like you have to get all three banners, I feel like it would get to the point where, say if this one and this one have gone, this one's the last one, and then I feel like all of the players on this team are just going to camp this one banner. And I don't really like the idea of that, because then it gets a bit boring and a bit hard, and then it basically is just a regular capture the flag. So what I've done is I've built some example spawn rooms. I know they're not exactly the same, but I just want to just do a quick rough mock-up. So imagine like this is where this team will spawn. So I've got some beds. These chests have got nothing in them, but imagine they've got stuff in. And then they'll run out. This will be like an island. So this will be like the shape of like an island coming across like this, and then it'd be the exact same just on this side. But of course, I'm just in a rough demonstration, so obviously this isn't going to look right. But imagine they're like that somehow, and then oh god, that's definitely not right. They definitely don't look the same, but it doesn't matter. It's just a rough rough mock-up. So imagine these like banners are here. So this will be like one island, this will be a separate island, and this one will be a separate island. But these will be like really spread apart. And then you'll have to go across the islands, grab the banner, bring it back safely without dying, and throw it in this hopper. What it will then do when it's thrown it in the hopper is it's then going to replace with a command block this banner back here. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that the banners are never going to be permanently gone. So once this one's gone, it doesn't mean it's gone forever. It means it will only be gone until the opponent throws it into the box. And then basically, the aim of the game would be basically like to just get as many banners as you possibly can in a time limit. I'm thinking like maybe about like 15 to 20 minutes. And then basically whoever then, like whichever team has secured the most banners in their base will win. The only thing is that this is not going to be a separate thing on the outside. This is going to be incorporated into the walls, because I don't really want to do a box, because like not a box, sorry, like a weird shape, because I've done games like that before, and I'm trying to like think about how to make them different. I know obviously building a big box is probably not the best thing, but I just think this just looks quite cool. These also, I'm going to theme this. I'm thinking about building castles on both sides. I still haven't decided on the colour choices yet. I've only just put down these colours, and they look nice. I really like yellow and grey together. It always reminds me of like roads and stuff like that. But I think that looks quite nice. But yeah, but it's definitely not. Probably won't be these colours. I like the colours and things are always like a last minute addition. I never bother to like work on them too much. But basically, like I like the idea of just having banners, and then just like you trying to collect them and bring them back to your base. I just think that's just quite fun. I just think it's just going to be pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much my thinking process at the moment. So it'll be a time trial game. Whichever team can gather the most banners within the time will win, and then whichever team has got the least banners will lose. That way then it's not just a case of you've got to get it and bring it back and the game ending in a matter of minutes, because I feel like that'd be a bit boring. I need to really think about the 8 players. Like I need to keep 8 people occupied in a time, And I think that doing it like that, I just think is going to be better. It makes it a little bit different from Capture the Flag and other Capture the Flag games. And also, it just means that it's a little bit more tactical. Because say if you've got, like, if it's an 8-player game and there's 4 on either side, it means you can, like, spread each other out to, like, try and, like, defend one banner. Or you could have, like, one person each defending, one attacking. But then, of course, that's dangerous because then there's only one person going across with no protection. And, yeah, I think that could be pretty cool. I also came up with another idea. So imagine this is an island and that's an island, but there'll be like other islands just scattered around the place. Like this. Look at this. Isn't this just lovely? My lovely mock-up of an island. But yeah, imagine then like there's islands on the side like this. And then maybe these could have, where are they? Maybe these could have ores. So maybe there could be like iron ore and like gold ore, and then you combine these to make better armor. And then that way, then, like, there's 2 reasons I kind of want to add this in. And the first reason is spawn camping is the main reason. Like, I want there to be a level of not just sitting at the banner and waiting for the opponent to arrive. Like, I want there to be something else that you can do which will get you away from them. And I think that having ores which you can mine, and then of course you could like use them to make better equipment, I think will be good. Also, it just also means that it just makes like more strategies for the game. Like it means that you can decide, do you want to go, maybe we could even have some diamonds, but yeah, like maybe it could be a case of do you go after the ores and try and get better armor, or do you just go out of your way to just try and just get the banner, and how do you protect it? Also, maybe, I've just had an idea. Maybe there could be like a shop, okay? Like, maybe there could be like a row of buttons on a wall across here, and maybe some across here, and then maybe like to get better blocks. So maybe you could like start off with like maybe some wool or something just to block this off, but maybe not like that because that'll block the door. But maybe like you could use some of the ores as currency to try and buy better blocks. So maybe like 10 iron will give you some wood, and then you can like use the wood to like block, and then maybe 10 gold will give you stone, and then you can use like the stone to protect. So that way then it gives them more of a purpose. The only thing is that like I don't want it to just be a case of like people just mining the entire time. And also it's going to get to a point where all of the ores are just going to get broken. And there would be a way with commands I could have them replaced. Like I could very easily do this replaced with commands. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do it. But I like that as an idea, just to give players a bit more reason to go mining in the game. I've also not decided yet if I want to keep inventory on or off. I feel like it would make more sense to have it off, because if you imagine I've just collected this banner and I'm running back and I get knocked off into the void, I'm going to like respawn here and already have the banner ready to throw in. So I think it would make more sense to have keep inventory off, which also means that, you've got to be careful with what ores you mine, because if you drop a diamond sword, then the other players can grab it and things like that. I just think that will be pretty good fun. So that's pretty much the concept. So I've got to think about building this in videos, because this is going to be, I'm already telling you now, this is going to be a big game. Okay. But I need to think about like, how am I going to split this entire game into multiple videos? And also, there's something else I need to take in mind. And I'm pretty sure all of you know this because this video will go out after, but there's a big dramatic episode coming just before this game. And I need to incorporate, basically the way of how I'm incorporating 8 players is important to that special. So I need to also consider that special. Like there needs to be something involving this game that will lead into that special. And so I need to think about that as well. Um, but yeah, I think this is pretty good concept. So I think I'm going to do the arena last because I think the arena is going to take so long, and I'm going to have to dig the entire thing all the way through Bedrock. And if I'm doing this as a giant game, that's just going to take far too long. So I think what I might do is I might actually go work out maybe some of the outside first. So usually it'd be best to do the inside first and then to do the outside, but just because I want something on the outside, because I know this game's going to be big and I don't want a pattern, because if I have a pattern and the game is like over 100 blocks long, it's going to be very annoying to build. So I think I'm going to keep the walls ridiculously basic, like just have them as like walls like this, just so then this way then it's easy to build, but then if we want to build anything on top of it, we can do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a think about what I want to put on the outside, and then I'm going to come back in once I've had a thought process, and I might build one and then basically go and start putting it on a wall, and then I can work out how many of them in a row I want, like how big I want the arena to go and things like that, and then I can properly start working this thing out. So oh gosh, I got to do more thinking. But but yeah, I'll be back once I have done some progress. Okay, so I've done a little bit of work. I was trying to think what would be the good. You can already see some. You can already see. I've had to turn down my render distance, by the way, because I've had to build this in a different area, just because I realised I was getting a bit far away over there. So I moved it, but there's some spoilers over there, which I'm being very, very cautious of. So I've turned down my render distance. Um, so yeah, I was trying to think about like what could I do for the walls, and since the game is a bit about luck, like in terms of your strategies and stuff, I quite like the idea of like theming the game around luck and having like it all about like the luck like base of like how you play the game and strats and your chances of winning. So I thought a clover was the perfect symbol for luck. So I built this. You should see my original clover. Look at this. Basically, I looked at pictures of clovers and I built this, but then I realised it just looked like two bones going across, and I was like, that don't look like a clover. So I made it bigger. I made it like this, and yeah, it's pretty massive. But then again, I knew this game was going to be pretty tall, so I wasn't too bothered. But yeah, this is what I've come up with, and I built it on a green, and I was like, green's obvious because it's like clovers. But then I was like, what about yellow? Yellow looks nice, and I can't decide between the colours. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to ask some of the helpers what colours they consider as lucky, and then basically then I might pick some of their colours, and we'll see what we come up with. But yeah, I think this looks good. And then I started put it on a massive scale, so you can see I've basically like put them next to each other, going the entire across. I did half yellow, half green to kind of mark the two arenas. So I've got 6 of them going across and 6 going that way, which means that the game lengthwise is 293 blocks long. I mean, that's a lot. So that's pretty big. And then width-wise, I haven't decided properly the width. I did briefly do the width going across. Let's see if I can show you this off without revealing any spoilers. But yeah, basically I did some of the walls. So this way, let me see if I can do this without giving anything away. I did 6 more. Because I did 6 on the other side, I thought doing 6 here would make sense. So this means that the game going across is 147. So the inside will look like this. I went for dark oak, just because I quite like the look of the wood when I did birch earlier. But I didn't want to do birch because birch is it's a bit hard to see on the eyes, and it's a bit garish. So I thought I'd do dark oak because it looks a little bit posh, and it's like a nice wood type that doesn't look a bit too much on the eyes, but it also just works nicely with pretty much any colour which I put on it. So I thought I'll do dark oak. I think dark oak looks nice. So what I think I'm going to do is I think before I even begin doing some of the inside, I'm just going to go into my world and see if I can at least find a space for this, because if there's nowhere where I can fit this thing, I might have to make it smaller or make it bigger, or even I could just build this just somewhere else and just extend land is another option. But I just want to have a look as to see first if there is actually a place I could build this, and if so, where I could fit it. And then I think then I'll be committed with the size. And then once I've got the size, then I can actually start working out the inside. I think it'll be nice. So let's go to my world and let's go and have a look, and let's see if we can work out some of the interior. Okay, so I've had a look around, and to be honest with you, there's not actually that many spaces. So I've checked everywhere in the entire world, and there's loads of empty gaps like this, but just none of them are big enough to fit the game in. So I decided to build it over here next to the mountain. So it's not too far away from the house and the rest of the stuff, but it's also like it's got a nice spot where I can build it. So I have had to extend the land a little bit, but basically I just built it roughly, and I built up the walls. And so this is where I think I'm going to build it. So I've built it. I also built the clover just to kind of get the right height of the wall, and this works out quite nicely. And then basically I just built them all up. So the walls are 27 blocks high, which leaves this arena as like the battleground. So imagine you've got like a base here. This would be like the main one. Then there'll be a banner over there somewhere, banner over there somewhere, banner in the middle, then three on the other side. And then all of this ground here is just going to be filled with islands of like ores and things. There'll be a giant one in the middle, probably like a few like parkoury spots around the place. And then basically you have to try and get across to the other side without dying. And also you have to try and get across without being attacked. So it's a little bit dangerous, but I think it should be pretty good. So yeah, so this is roughly the size of the game. It's pretty big. It's really big. It's definitely up there in terms of my biggest games. It's probably, I mean, I'm not sure, because if you imagine this thing's going all the way down to Bedrock, like that's going to increase its height. So this game's got potential to be one of my biggest games. It's definitely not as big as, let's see if I can find it. It's somewhere over here. Let's see if I can find the game. I think it's literally just here. It's definitely not as big as my biggest mini game, which is my Cake Crusher game, which is, oh, here it is. Yeah, this game is just ginormous, and it's definitely not as big as this. I mean, this is huge. Fun fact, we've never actually ever played this game. I've tried a few times, because this is another 8-player game. I've tried a few times to get people on to play this game, but it's just like people have never been able to come on, and like people have always just been busy, and just getting 8 people on is just in general just a nightmare. So this game's never actually been played, even though it's built like 4 years ago. So one day we will play this. I keep saying it. One day we will, and when we do, I'm sure I'll live stream it or something, because it's going to be good. I actually want to get rid of all this redstone though, because it doesn't work properly anymore. But we're not focusing on this game. We're focusing on the game we're building today, which is yet to have a name. I will come up with a name, of course, before the tournament, and of course you can see it in the title. So let's go over, and let's go and let me just talk about what my next steps are. So I think because I've built this here, I think I'm just going to continue designing it in this world, because like I've already built the walls. Like I can't be bothered to do it again. Of course, I need to put the actual clovers on, which I will do. But I think what my plan is now that I know the size and now that I know where it can fit, my plan's going to be the arena. So there's a big thing which needs to be done, which I'm really putting off. But I think I'm going to do it first to get it out the way. They always say if there's something you don't want to do it first, because then you've got it out the way. So I'm going to do it first. And if you can't work out what that is, it's going to be digging this entire floor to bedrock. I think I'm just going to use structure blocks and just use the air like as blocks, just get rid of it. But let's see how deep to bedrock this is going to be. So at the moment we're in the stone layer. Here we go, we're down to deep slate. And soon, there we go, there's bedrock. Yeah, that's going to be a lot. If I was to dig that away in a video, that's going to take a lot. And also, I can't break the bedrock in video. So what I think I'll do is I think I'm going to do the whole digging the entire floor out off camera, because that's going to be a nightmare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the entire floor, and then I'll come back in once it's done. So this is probably going to take me like an hour, honestly. But when it's done, I will come back in with you, and then we can start talking about the next plan, which is going to be the actual arena. So I'll be back once I've done this. Wish me luck. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of structure blocking to get this floor out, and I managed to do it so... Right, you might be thinking, first of all, where have the walls gone? I accidentally structure blocked the walls out, which I didn't mean to do, but basically I got rid of them all by mistake. So I've had to just put, I can't be bothered to rebuild the walls yet. I will of course have to, but I've just put the dark oak just going around for now, just to basically do this. I also moved this away from the path a little bit more, just because, like, I want something here to, like, for you to get up, and so I moved it a little bit further back, and I also built the path over there as well. So yeah, this is what the inside's going to look like. So the floor is not going to be existent; it's just going to be bedrock. The dark oak, I think I'm going to build that all the way down to the bedrock. That's going to be a giant task by itself. But yeah, it's quite cool. You can see there's like a few structures I've chopped through. There's a dungeon here. I got rid of the spawner. There's a few geodes as well. There's a geode there, over there. There was one over here. There's a mine shaft there. So there's a few things I've chopped through. Oh, there we go. There's another one there, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, it didn't take as long as what I thought. Luckily, because I was using structure blocks, but it still took a very long time. So this is what the floor is going to be. So imagine there's the castle structure here coming across like this. I'll just build it out of stone for now. So this will be here like this. There'll be another island over there with your third banner, and one over there with your second one. I really said that in an awkward way, but you get the point. And then this one is going to have the very middle one. So this will be the one which will be right by your base. The castle will be here, where everyone will spawn. There'll also be like some other place for them to jump up to get around the map, maybe, and things like that. But yeah, I just need to work out like what's going to go where, I think is the first thing. So what I think I'm going to do is, because this video is going on for a little while, I think I'm going to call it a day now, and then I'll come back in and we can do the arena off camera. I'm also going to fill in all the walls, because that's going to be a task by itself. So I'll do the dark oak all the way down to bedrock on all the walls ready, and then we can actually start designing the inside, which is probably going to be the most fun part. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Let me know if you've enjoyed this sort of video. I know it's a little bit different, but yeah, that's going to end part one. Part two will be out soon. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all at some point.